So today we're going to be looking into the things that might be filling up your emotional tanks, your spiritual tanks, to a point whereby that hunger for wanting to be excellent is no longer there or is compromised. Imagine now you are sitting down at your workplace, sitting down with someone saying that, I don't like this company, I don't like this place, they're not paying us enough, they're doing this, they're doing this. You are busy in this, like in this squad of people who are always complaining about the place. Do you think you're gonna be hungry to excel in the place? When you are still formulating a plan, when you're still thinking of your dreams, when we are still thinking of your goals, when they're still in their initial phase or state, it's important that you don't introduce your plans and your dreams to bad energy before you are actually convinced that this is what I want to do. Having negative people around you, it does affect your hunger. If your vision is clear, it's very clear to know that me applying myself in this way, it contributes to this vision that I have about my life, the vision that I have about the things that I'm building. And I think it's also key that we remember that everything that we do goes to the extent at which we do. Failure of the past. Failure of the past can actually affect your hunger for excellence. Welcome back to High Performers, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to you. I'm very much excited to be back on your screens, guys. I'm very much excited to be back on your screens. And then I hope you're also excited to see me again, talking about one of the most important topics that we have here in High Performance. Today, I will be talking about hunger for excellence. Hunger for excellence. And then the question that I have for you is that, have you ever sat down and wondered and went like, am I actually the way I was 10 years ago when I was part of the team, when I was playing soccer, or when I was running, or when I went for my first competition in the arts, or when I made my first clip or my first music, or the first beats that I made, like as a musician, the drive that I had, the hunger that I had to actually want to excel and be at the top. Are you still showing up that way? Are you still showing up that way? The excitement that you used to have at that first job when you woke up at 5 in the morning, and then even if you woke up at 6, you would still have made it in time, but you woke up at 5 because of you were excited about what you were going to do and then the magic that you were going to create in the world with that first job that you had. That very drive, that hunger that we had, is it still there? And if it is no longer there, what has stolen that hunger from you? That fire that you had, the one that made you, go and then thank God with every ounce in your body to say, God, thank you for this opportunity. Because with this opportunity, the world will know who this guy is. There was a hunger. And remember, hunger, it's a physical discomfort, that is caused by the emptiness in your stomach. Or like to put it mildly, it's a physical discomfort caused by the emptiness inside your stomach. So then in other words, there will be, it's very important for us guys to think about the fact that when we are not hungry, then there's a likelihood that our stomachs are not empty, right? So it means there's an emptying that needs to be done in order for us to create the space for the things that we need to be hungry for. So today we're going to be looking into the things that might be filling up your emotional tanks, your spiritual tanks, to a point whereby that hunger for wanting to be excellent is no longer there or is compromised. Because it means you have filled the space that should be occupied by the things that wants you to excel. And what things are those? What are the things that you have filled yourself up with? Hunger, unlike appetite, is something else. Hunger, if you think about it, if now you are hungry for food, whatever that I give you pap and gravy or something, and then you fill yourself up. it doesn't matter whether prior me giving you that food, you wanted steak. You would have filled that space, and you no longer have space for the steak that you like. Think about that. You no longer have space for the steak that you like. The very thing that you wanted to fill that emptiness with, you no longer have space for it because you filled it up with the things that you do not like. So what is it that you're filling your mental reservoirs with? Your emotional reservoirs with? What are you filling it with to a point whereby it's killing that fire that you once had? You used to show up with this glow wherever you showed up. You used to be the life of the party. Wherever you came, people were like, we just can't wait for so-and-so to come because we know when he comes or when he's here, this room is lighter than it is now. What happened to that? So I have a few suggestions, and then please, you are more than welcome to suggest on the comment section about what you believe are the things that you can add to the 4 things that I'm going to be mentioning, because there's more. Trust me, there's more. One thing that life has taught me is that there's more. So the first thing that I want to talk about is low-level conversations. Low-level conversations. Guys, we are in conversations all the time. Sometimes with ourselves, sometimes with our friends, sometimes with the things that we are consuming, the type of content that we're consuming online, the type of content we are consuming from the stuff that we read, the people that we speak with on the road, the people that we constantly talking with. Either they are our business partners, either they are our love partners, either they are our friends. If the conversations are that low, what happens now is that you are filling up your minds or your psychological reservoirs with information or with conversations that are not actually, igniting that level of hunger for excellence, for being able to excel. Imagine now you are sitting down at your workplace, sitting down with someone saying that, I don't like this company, I don't like this place. They're not paying us enough. They're doing this, they're doing this. You are busy in this squad of people who are always complaining about that place. Do you think you're going to be hungry to excel in that place? Do you think you're going to, after that conversation, you're going to stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make sure that this company grows. I'm going to make sure that, the revenues are made properly. I'm going to make sure that we produce the best quality product if you are in a product offering space. I'm going to make sure that, the services that we're going to be providing are going to be of excellent quality. Do you think that is what you are going to do after that conversation with that colleague of yours that you're gossiping with? I doubt not. Do you think that after sitting with your friend, talking about how the economy is shrinking and then how our politicians are not doing a great job and there is nothing we can do, there's nothing we can do, these people are crooks, these people are doing these things, our politicians are messing up everything, there are no jobs. Of course, those things are factual to an extent. But if you leave that conversation without coming up with solutions that will actually get you to a point whereby you say, I'm now inspired to actually go about my life, I promise you, you will not get to the end of that conversation with enough, vigor to actually attack the goals and the dreams that you have in your life. So low-level conversations, which means now it brings me to a point that each and every single time, if now, as you are watching me saying what I'm saying to you now, think of the conversation that you just had an hour ago, 2 hours ago, a day ago. Let's talk about the one that you had an hour ago. How did you feel after you left that conversation? Did you feel like challenging yourself on how you apply yourself in the spaces that you find yourself in? Or did you feel like just doing what you have ordinarily been doing? Think about that. It's very important to challenge yourself on those things, because those low-level conversations, they are affecting your hunger for being excellent in what you do. So you have a do you have a question?
Yeah. So conversations are only two ways, right? So it's one thing to start a conversation or a low-level conversation. How do you then stop someone having that conversation with you?
You discourage them by how you apply yourself in the spaces that you share. So there are certain people who their demeanor discourages certain type of conversations. There's someone you won't start a gossip with. You just won't. Because of they are just like that. Like that's the brand they hold. They are the kind of people that are known for only having effective, productive conversations. If you're gonna come to him with a complaint, just know that you're not gonna get that person's attention. If you're gonna go there whining, just know that you're not gonna get that person's attention. So how you stop people from actually starting that is by making sure you hold yourself to high standards that discourages those kind of conversations. There are certain people that I know from my experience, when I go to talk to them, I'm like, yo, I must have my ducks in a row. I must have my story, constructed properly, because of this person does not tolerate the thing of people wasting his time. So you discourage them by actually doing that, by ensuring that you have a brand that says that I do not entertain things that are not helpful. If you're coming to me with a problem, come to me with a problem that you thought through, and then you thought of how you can circumvent it, and then you are coming to me for guidance. You're like, no, I've been working on this thing. I just can't get it right, but I want you to help me frame it differently. You will get attention of people who ascribe to high performance, related qualities, if you approach it that way. So you discourage them in that sense. But that's a very great question. That's a very great question, because you don't always want to find yourself in a place whereby you have to guard yourself against conversations that you're already having. Sometimes you want to discourage them from even happening. And then the person that you are must be very clear, and you must make sure that, your strictness around that, how strict you are around that, delineate that. It sets those specific boundaries around that, and people will know very clear that, this one, we don't do these things with. So that's a very important question as well. So yeah. So do you have another question? Yeah, sure. What do you think? What question do you have?
So how do you facilitate consistently being in environments where you can have edifying conversations all the time?
How can you ask that question again? I just want to make sure I understand it.
How can you facilitate being in environments where you can have edifying conversations all the time?
I think that will boil down to the culture of the spaces that you find yourself in, because of certain environments are set up in a manner that promotes certain type of behaviors and conversations. And then, but if you want to facilitate, edifying conversations that are edifying, conversations that are productive and whatnot, if you want to facilitate that, so it means that you must try to do it from a culture perspective. Make sure that you build a culture that is encouraging of conversations like that, that is encouraging of uplifting conversations. And then you make sure that, you do not entertain the things that are not in alignment with the growth that you really want to see in your life and in the lives that you find around yourself. And then I think to a certain extent, because now when I'm talking about culture is more in the work environment, that one. But let's talk on a personal environment, like personal space perspective. If you are a person who's known for specific things, people are discouraged to actually have certain conversations with you. And then if you are known for uplifting people, you are known for saying the things that are productive and whatnot, people are encouraged. That's the other side of it. Encouraged to always want to have you by their space, because they know that what you normally go for or facilitate are conversations that are uplifting, conversations that are edifying. So yeah, so thanks for that. So I was talking about, I'm talking about low-level conversations. Those things are very important, because of conversations. Remember, conversations are like conversations are like this. They have the thing of always you interrogating them when you are speaking with someone, and then they saying like a specific thing and whatnot. Sometimes they even get to make you doubt your own plans, your own dreams, the things that you set for yourself. You are on fire, and then you just want to do this thing, and then you go and then have a conversation with someone who really like puts water on that specific fire. Which leads me to one of the things that I like to tell people almost all the time. It is that when you are still formulating a plan, when you're still thinking of your dreams, when we are still thinking of your goals, when they are still in their initial phase or state, it's important that you don't introduce your plans and your dreams to bad energy before you are actually convinced that this is what I want to do. Because when you go and then tell someone, let's say I go and tell Lusani, and I say, Lusani, I have this dream of this high performance thing. I want to make sure that one day, I get to have a big conference whereby I'll invite presidents of states. I'll even have like a Barack Obama, or I have an Oprah Winfrey, or I'll have a Joe Rogan sitting next to me, and then we have this big conference, and I share this with you. And the guy says, hey, Joe Rogan, do you even have a passport? So that's discouraging. Like, same time, like, I don't even have a passport. I never even went outside South Africa. So when you do that, you are introducing your plan to bad energy. You want to introduce your plans to energies that will actually put you on that high, if not higher. Somebody will be like, man, that thing is very doable. I was actually reading some article about this boy who was doing something, and then somebody saw his video, and then he shared that video with TD Jakes. And then this boy was presenting at TD Jakes' church. That's actually very doable. You want someone like that. But you won't always know if people will respond in that way. That is why you need to first make sure you meditate on the plans that you have. Meditate on the plans that you have. You meditate on the plans that you have so that they do stick, because they need to stick. Once they stick, and then you are convinced that no one can move you from that. And that's what we want, for people not to move you from the thing that you set to be your goal and to set to be your plan. That's the one thing that I said. Low-level conversations, they do affect your hunger for excellence. You find out that you filled yourself up with so intoxicating conversations that are actually intoxicating the germination of your seed of excellence. And before you know it, you don't have a drive anymore. You are just, just waking up. Oh, it's Monday again. You don't want to be that guy. The second thing that I want to mention, which very much relates to what I was saying about low-level conversations, but I'm speaking specifically on negative people. Having negative people around you, it does affect your hunger. It does affect your hunger. You don't want to have negative people around you. Yes, you want to have people who challenge you, but not negative people. These people are different. I think I should make a differentiation of the two. So there are people who will challenge you, and there are people who are just negative. And somebody who will challenge you, it's somebody who does not discourage what you want to do, but they are checking how further you've thought about the thing that you want to do, so that you can go with an intention of you going deep, and then dig deep, and then find out more information about the thing that you want to do. So if you come to me and say that I want to do this project, I want to do this thing, I want to start this business, and then when I challenge you versus somebody who's negative, I'll be like, oh, okay, that's a great idea. I think it's going to be like an excellent business. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you checked your market segmentation? Who are you going to be selling this with? Who's your target audience actually? Who are you going to be doing this for? Oh, okay. And then your product pricing and whatnot. What's the cost of producing the product that you're going to be doing? Is it going to be something that has low cost of production, and then so that you can maximize your revenue and your profits? How do you think about marketing it? That's me challenging you. You're like, there's so many questions that I need to actually, but I don't discourage you doing it. A negative person is somebody who says, oh, you're going to do this business. Bruh, how many businesses are failing every day? Business are failing every day. Our market, it's not made for people like us. People like us who are trying to do this specific thing, they're normally not gonna win. That is somebody discouraging you. That's somebody being negative, and you don't want people like that in your life. You don't want people who actually enjoy telling you that things are not going to work. There are people who enjoy like telling you that things are not going to work. Like they actually love it. You come up with something, they're like, think of how is this not gonna work? How is this not gonna work? How is this not gonna work? And trust me, they'll look for 10 reasons and then they only need one. So I promise you guys, when you remove people who are negative, or when you spend less time with people who are negative, you will get your hunger for excellence up. Because that's what you need. You don't need people who are negative. Somebody might come and say that, no, but MT, I hear you, but there are people who are negative, yes, but it's their negativity that pushes me to do better. Somebody will say that. Somebody will say that, no, the reason why I'm doing this is because of somebody said that I'm not going to be able to do it. So I want to prove them wrong. All you have to do is that you must make sure that those people are not your circle, but they are mere voices that you will frequently hear, but they're not your circle. Jim Rohn put it very nicely. People who listen to me, they know that I always quote Jim Rohn. He said that some people are good for a minute, but not for an hour. Some for an hour, but not for a day. Some for a day, not for a week. Some for a week, not for a month. And some for a month, but not for a lifetime. Think about that. Think about that. So when you have certain negative people in your life, you don't want to have them for a whole day. Imagine sitting the whole day listening to someone telling you how something's not going to work. It's okay that for that 1 minute you told me that it's not going to work, or you wrote a tweet somewhere, or you wrote on social media saying that this guy's taking chances. He's not going to make it, this one. It's not going to work. That's fine. I will prove to you that it will work, but you're not in my circle. Those are the people you don't want to put in your circle. But it is okay that if it becomes like a voice that you hear or see once in a while, that is still okay. But you don't want to have these people in your circle. This third thing I want to talk about. So I mentioned the second one. The first one, remember? The first one was low-level conversations. The second one was people who are negative. The third one is my favorite. Lack of clarity on your vision will actually destroy your hunger for excellence. Lack of clarity for your vision. I always say that lack of clarity on your vision is an enemy of execution, or lack of clarity is an enemy of execution. It's difficult to execute on the plans and the dreams that you have when you're not clear on them. When the vision that you have about how you want to go about your life is not clear, it puts you in a position whereby it's difficult for you to execute. So if it puts you in a position where you can't execute, then you are not actually elated and happy to actually want to take on the challenges that come with you materializing this specific thing. And then as a result, what happens now? Your hunger for excellence goes down because you do not know, why do you have to excel? For what? Why should I be excellent? Why should I be great at this thing? Why should I be the first one to come into the office and the last one to leave the office? For what? Why should I be amazing at what I do? Why should I kill this presentation? For what? Or maybe I should get some money at the end of the day and then be remunerated. Okay, sharp. And after that, I use the money and then it's gone. Then what do I do? Do I look for another thing another presentation that I need to kill? That's the thing. So, but if your vision is clear, it's very clear to know that me applying myself in this way, it contributes to this vision that I have about my life, the vision that I have about the things that I'm building. And I think it's also key that we remember that everything that we do grows to the extent at which we do. So in other words, everything that I produce or produced, it's a result or a reflection of my growth or how I have grown. And then our vision does exactly that. It helps us to see the need for ourselves to grow. Like the last presentation that I did on the last one that I did on the reasons why you need to set powerful goals, why you need to set audacious goals. The cost of not dreaming big. I was talking about how big dreams necessitate the growth that is required to acquire it. So the same thing with your vision. So your vision, if it's clear enough, believe me, it will improve your hunger for excellence. You will see the need, why you need to be excellent in what you do. You'll see the need to always want to do more and then be more in the environments that you find yourselves in. So if you believe that your vision is tampered with, you need to go back to the drawing board. Think about it practically. You are sitting down now where you are, and there is this life that you are living. Do you see a picture of how it looks like? Remember, there's two pictures in front of everyone in life, almost everyone. One is picture number one is the picture of where you are. Picture number two is a picture of where you want to be. And your job is to make this picture as identical as this one. That is your job. So my thing about vision, it is that, is this picture clear enough? Or are the challenges of this picture blurring your image of seeing this one clearer? The things that you're facing every day, are they actually causing you not to see this picture more clearer? Oh, sure, yeah. So you have another question?
I do. So how would you ignite a vision in someone who's never been familiar with having one?
We do it with goal setting. So the question is, how do we ignite the whole concept of having a vision in someone who never had one? So we do it with goal setting. Goal setting is the most effective way of doing it, because it's simple. It's simple in the sense that you go like, okay, cool. You don't know what is the whole vision of your life. That's fine. But where do you want to stay? Where do you want to live? Okay, I would love to live in this area and whatnot. What car do you want to drive? Man, I love this kind of a car. What clothes do you want to wear? I want to wear this. Where do you want to eat? This one I want to do. Where do you want to visit? I want to see myself in Zibali. I want to see myself in where and where. Once people start to be excited about that process of setting those specific goals, what they do, it is that those specific goals, what they do now, is that now it will sum up into one big ball of vision. Because of having all of those things, it will require you to become a person who is an equivalent of those things that you want. That car that you say you like, that house that you say you love, those places that you say you want to visit, what will happen at the end, it is that then now they require you to be like, okay, who do I need to become in order for me to get these things, right? And then as you're answering that question, your vision has been built up. And then you will end up becoming, like, I'll give you an example, because that's a beautiful question. I'll give you an example. I did not know that one day I'll be sitting in front of cameras, talking to people about high performance, or talking to people about things that are about personal growth. I never thought I would be doing that, honestly speaking. Because if you think about it, my profession, people who don't know, I'm a software engineer by profession. I'm a developer. I'm somebody who sits down and writes code. I never trained for this, at least, academically. Yes, I did some professional training later when I wanted to enhance my skills. But I did not know this. But what I knew, it is that I wanted to be a person who is influential in spaces that have anything and everything to do with improving people's lives. Because every job that I worked at, I can promise you now, all the accolades that I got, I did not get them because of I was the best coder or the best developer in that company. It was because I was the best team player. I was the one who brought the team morale up all the time. I was known mostly by my clients for making them feel more inspired to do what they do. The inspiration and the young people that I taught and coached in the jobs that I've been at, that's what I was known mostly for. And how did this vision come about? It came about because all I wanted was to be a great software developer. And then after that, then that's what I did. And before I knew it, I meet people who have challenges and I'm drawn to their challenges. After being drawn to their challenges, I want to know, how can I help? Me wanting to know how can I help, then I realized that I need to become this person. I need to consume this kind of content. I need to read this kind of books. I need to attend this kind of courses. And before I knew it, I became this person who was passionate about bringing the best out of people. Hence, I am a high performance coach. Somebody who is dedicating his life or dedicated his life to seeing the best out of people. But I did not know that. I had to actually, make this guy from the small goals that I've been setting. So goal setting is by far the best or the most effective way of actually building a vision for your life. The last one I want to speak about is failure of the past. Failure of the past can actually affect your hunger for excellence. Because of some people have failed so much. Some people have met so many disappointments in their lives. There are so many things that you've tried, they are not working. When you try this, when you try to patch your door that has a hole, then the roof leaks. It's like there are so many problems that are coming at you. And when there are so many problems that are coming at you, what will happen sometimes, it will actually affect your hunger to excel in the things that you do. Because you ask yourself, why am I doing it in the first place? Because no matter how hard I try, as a result, then nothing great comes out of it. So failure of the past can actually get to a point whereby it affects your hunger to be excellent. And it shouldn't, but it does. So that's when you get to be a person who goes like, what is it that I can learn from the failures or the past things that I've done? What were the lessons inculcated in those specific experiences? How can I take that and turn them into, like the ladders that I will use to climb up and become the excellent person that I know that I'm actually born to be? And as I mentioned, guys, you can please add more to this. What are the things that you believe they affected your hunger? And then you add on to this. Because of most of these things that I'm saying them from the perspective of my experience and from the perspective of the experiences of the things that I read, people that I've investigated, people that I've did a research on. However, you might have your own list, and then it will be great to interact with you on that. You just say, I think my hunger was affected by this thing. And it'll be a great list to add on to this. And then nonetheless, I am very much excited that we spoke about this. And please, let's engage more and more. And from me to you, thank you so much. Until we see each other again on High Performers, this is me, MT Tabani, signing out of High Performers. Cheers.